A man pushes a rickety cart filled to the brim with some kind of load. A tout shouts a call to seen and unseen passengers to board his vehicle. A woman in a suit rushes to catch her bus to work. Welcome to Nairobi, my green city in the sun. With more than 3.1 million people living here, Nairobi has been growing in leaps and bounds. People hailing from far and wide and buildings sprouting every dawning day. It is quite clear that my city is East Africa's economic hub. Peaceful but industrious, the diversity of my Nairobi makes it the place to be for an average Kenyan and foreigners. The culture is easygoing and friendly. The people quick to grab every available opportunity. But in its allure, its glamour, is my Nairobi well? Am I killing my Nairobi with the unbridled development, the pollution and the waste? Will I, with a straight face, tell my daughter that I did not contribute to the barren Nairobi it is now? Welcome to my Nairobi, my once green city in the sun, my city with two tails.
I live outside of Mexico City, in a small town surrounded by mountains, which despite being close to the big city, has preserved its autonomy, its culture, and its trees. I think this is a better place for me and my children. We can live away from cars and closer to nature. A week ago, we woke up with the news. Hundreds of trees were cut by the government to make a new highway. No one saw how in less than 4 hours they destroyed years of life. In Mexico, decisions are made outside the law without respecting human rights or nature. Seeing trees on the ground filled me with sadness, impotence, and courage at the same time. How will the future of my kids be? I hope we wake up, organize ourselves, and then we build a world where many fit.
This is Harold. He's 4 years old and he lives in Campo Florido. This is a small town located on the east side of Havana City. This is mainly a rural area dedicated to agriculture and cattle raising. For him, the improvement of the US and Cuba relations did not change anything. Havana City has nearly 2 million inhabitants, and last year we received almost 4 million tourists. A lot of them were Americans. For better and worse, the interaction between our cultures is changing Cuba forever. Our visitors take photos of vintage cars, pre-revolution buildings, and the Malecón. But time is not frozen in Cuba. In today's Cuba, we have to deal with today's problems: housing, salary, public transportation, access to food, and pollution. The way we deal with these problems will ensure tomorrow's Cuba. This future will be Harold's.
People around the world know the tourist sites of Rio: Ipanema, Copacabana, Lapa. But in Rio, there is so much more. Most people don't live in the city center. Many live in the slums. When people think of slums, they think of poverty and danger. But this isn't all the truth. Maré is the biggest slum in Rio. People live in this place and fight every day for equal rights. If you are a tourist and you visit a slum, don't look at people as if they are animals in a zoo. Look for culture, art, diversity, and beauty, because this is the richness that can be found in the slum. It's their home. It's their world.
Look around. Imagine a space where your dreams could become real. A space that turns possibility into promise. Well, stop imagining, because that space is real. It exists within you. You have everything you ever needed to realize that what you think you know is a mere speck of what you actually know. When kids in Ghana, especially girls, are being taught only to memorize rather than problem solve, this becomes yet another problem that needs to be solved. And we do this through technology. When we explore the powers of technology, we are able to break the mold of the old, to elevate our minds beyond standard definition, to achieve higher definition than HD, and to experience something more than virtual reality.
Have you ever thought about what it takes to have a happy, successful, fulfilled life? What do some people think to have a good life and others think to live in a world of whatever happens? So with this website, people are being encouraged to continue with their day-to-day activities, and then even though you feel in some ways, you should know that there is a way forward.
New thinking can help to advance individuals, communities, and ultimately, the nation. We can experience this through experiential learning. Imagine you could touch, feel, and explore the space of the subject being taught. As we all exist in the world, the way we learn should reflect that existence. So when life throws us some lemons, we don't just make lemonade, we make lemon meringue cake.
ازيك يا حسن؟
Pablo Picasso once said that the purpose of art is washing the dust of daily life off our soul. Yet children living in marginalized communities have no access to any form of art, not even crayons and a coloring book. In fact, art is a social taboo. Girls as young as 9 and 10 are not allowed to sing or take part in drama workshops. Surely they need to wash off a lot of dust since their life is far from easy or happy. This is why I established El Buen Autor, a space for children to experiment with art and express themselves in a safe haven, away from societal constraints. It is a second home for them, to thrive and grow as they find their voice through the strings of a guitar or a stroke of a brush. With art, life has no limits.
Homes are complicated love stories. They, as some would say, evoke funny feelings and painful memories. Home. Home is the sound of fahsa simmering on the stove. Her smell brims with emotion, traveling along wooden walls and beyond. Home. You can find her in between spaces, revealing herself and sustaining you. She is a place with food, smells, books, and a million little stories. Home, you see. Home is a sanctuary for building power out of oppression, and a place that lets us exist. A place that allows us to exist and heal our broken hearts together. But those of us who walk the streets, those of us ridiculed, those of us who speak another language, and those of us who leave our homes, gripping our hands so tight as sweat drips down our fingers, like a criminal running away. To those of us who are who we are, by having grown up within a system of fear and degradation, those of us who are so colorful and visible, those of us who are old and poor, and those of us dressed different. Those of us dressed different know that the boundaries of place and identity are blurry.
And that is that. We did it.
Elaine, Havana, Cuba.
Raymond, Accra, Ghana.
Alexis, Tepoztlan, Mexico.
Asa, Cairo, Egypt.
Michelle, Istanbul, Turkey.
Rouge, New York City, United States.
Priscila, Rio, Brasil.
James, Nairobi, Kenya.